did you guys start using Cosmos? Let's introduce potential customers.
I think we started last year.
No, of course we started last year,
Yeah.
but like October or November, either October or November. When did you launch on Cosmos 2.0? That's when we started using it.
That was I think that was November.
Now I'm testing your men.
Yeah, you tested my memory, and it is not that
I
good.
think we did it slightly before the 2.0. So
Is
it
it?
was
Yeah,
Oh
you
yeah,
guys started a bit before. Yeah, I do remember you started showing up on our metrics slightly before we launched on Product Hunt.
yeah.
So last year October. That's been quite a while. That's amazing. And how did you find out about us? Because it was not Product
Jia
Hunt.
found out about it. Yeah, it wasn't. So Jia found out about it.
Yeah, it wasn't on Product Hunt, I think, for the first one. So I think I was searching or reading somewhere about it before. So I roughly remember
Mm-hmm.
like video conferencing like a tool with
Uh-huh.
characters in it. And I know that it wasn't Gather Town. So I was like searching for this
Uh-huh.
alternative, and then I think I landed on the website eventually on Google search. Yeah.
Oh,
So
amazing. Yeah.
that's how I signed up for that account and everything. Yeah. So the Google
Oh,
search
that's
was
amazing.
yeah.
Yeah, she's the main driver of adoption for Cosmos in the office, actually.
Yeah. I mean, I like
Um.
to use new things and it's cute. So yeah, because in October they had the heightened alert in Singapore, and we
Uh-huh.
couldn't go back to our office because work from home is default for most businesses. And
Uh-huh.
so like we were like thinking, like Zoom and all, it's just very boring. We wanted a
Uh-huh.
office space or the virtual office space.
Also, half our team is remote, so they're not in Singapore.
Mm.
So yeah,
Um,
I wanted to ask you more about your team. As like
yeah,
how big is your team? How
team
are
is
they?
around
Where are they
15.
based?
Yeah, so team
Uh-huh.
is around 15.
Mm-hmm.
About half of them are here based in Singapore. The rest of them are based in Indonesia or India.
Mm.
Indonesia and India. So they're in and so they are in the same time zone, like similar-ish time zone.
Similar
Yeah.
time zone.
Similar time zone.
Yeah, it spreads out like so.
Cambodia.
Well, yeah, Cambodia one. So
Cambodia as well.
we have like in GMT +8, +7,
Mhm.
and then +5.5, right, for India.
So you
So
have like range
yeah,
plus minus
Yeah.
2-3 hours.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And and your team was always this big, or were you growing around the same time?
No, our team was only built last year actually. Like we started expanding the team. Um, yeah, primarily last year.
Mm.
So you expanded your team, and then COVID lockdowns happened, and then
Well,
you started
yeah,
to look.
correct. So it was a bit of both, where we expanded the team. There was more remote people,
Uh-huh.
um, and yeah, with more like lockdowns and restrictions, we couldn't. Sorry, is it very noisy here?
No, no, it's fine. It's
Okay,
fine.
it's fine. Yeah, it was a mix of both those factors because we ended up making hires that were remote, and
Hmm.
also even with our with our local team, we couldn't really get into the office.
Hmm. Oh, so it kind of like, and so when your team grew and you started to kind of like feel the pain or the problems, like what were those, like what made Gia like go on and say, okay, I'm gonna go search for something. What were the problems you were facing? If you were to like go back to that that
Yeah, I
snapshot.
think it's mainly because we were feeling very distant.
Uh-huh.
The because we were in office for a period of time before
Mm-hmm.
October. I think it was
Mm-hmm.
in July, like June, July, August. We were still in office, and
Mm-hmm.
then when it happened, then we were like, oh, we miss like being together in the office and like just chit chatting, like going up to a person and asking for something,
Mm-hmm.
so like the real life interaction. And then I remembered that there was like the virtual office that had like the space, and then
Mm-hmm.
that's why I went search for it and then started using the free version. Yeah.
So
Make
for me, my main like if I was to describe the pain,
Mm-hmm.
uh, it was having a mix of remote and like staff in house. So
Mm-hmm.
with like, staff in house, you're always interacting, but the remote team is so disengaged with whatever's going on in the office.
Mhm.
and there's no way to bridge that gap, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, previously we used to do things like, play games on Zoom. So we would run things like, if you're familiar with Jackbox games,
Jackbox games. Yes.
yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
that kind of stuff. Which I mean, is there on a games table, similar things, right?
Mm.
Those light-hearted games as well. So I think that's how, like, I think we were, dealing with that, like dealing with the distance, and also, like, I think this is like a feedback that I get to see many times when I ask employees for, like, how satisfied they are.
Yeah.
Typically, everything's great except for, like, that engagement part, especially for people who are remote.
So were your employees complaining about it, or did they start
Great.
to bring it
Like,
up?
it was lackluster engagement.
Mm.
Yeah.
Makes sense. And
Yeah.
so this is an I want to actually double click on this one. So oftentimes what happens is um, all remote leaders or managers often, when they hear this feedback of, oh, engagement is low, the first in like knee-jerk reaction to that is, okay, let's do like more Zoom socials. Basically, let's put everybody on Zoom, let's organize a game, and hopefully engagement will get better, right? I've also done it. I
Yeah,
think
we've done that.
yeah,
Yeah.
we all went through that journey. What was your learning that, okay, this is not it, we need something more or something different than
It's really
Zoom?
just the step up. I think, Karan, is that there is a avatar that you can control, right? So you're actually a person. So you're like, it's more interactive, and the fact that you can walk up to a person in digital space, like, so if I'm in another room, I'll just,
Mhm,
like, fly over and, like, ask her a question, right?
mhm,
So, like, having that ability is a very close emulation of, like, how you would interact
Yeah.
with people in an actual workspace.
I mean,
mhm.
for us, we actually used a lot of Discord before we go on to Cosmos. So
Oh.
we enjoyed Discord's like voice talking and
Mhm,
playing. Like, we were doing a lot of prototype testing of our product, which is like this product, right, that we have
mhm,
game on like
mhm,
on Discord because it was just easier to speak and then like doing other things instead of using Zoom.
mhm,
Um, and it's also more casual, I guess. And you
mhm.
don't have to click on a link every time as well for
Yeah,
Cosmos.
you don't have to get a link.
And we are not on the paid version of Slack, which has that function now. So yeah, we're still saving money, but not going on like the paid version of Slack. So yeah, that's why
Mhm.
we use Discord because it was like free. Yeah.
And when you found Cosmos, how did you start using it? Like, so you had a 15 people team.
Hmm.
How did you decide to use Cosmos, or how are you
I
using
mean,
Cosmos?
we are in two different teams. Like one is
Mhm,
the board game side, the other one is the SaaS product.
mhm,
And so what we do is we really started using it as a morning stand up. Yeah, so like and then we are just situated in the office afterwards so that we can
mhm.
have like more the huddles for like meetings or discussions uh like more organically. Like we don't have
Got
to set up a time, you know.
So
it.
I think Jazz team. So she leads the potato pirates team. I lead the
Mhm,
Rojak team.
mhm,
Um, Her team had a lot more of the adoption for, like, just staying on Cosmos the whole day, like, or most of the day.
At the start of
mhm.
when we were using it.
I never used to do that because it just used to wreck my RAM, right?
Yes, it used to. Yeah, yeah.
At the start.
Um, I mean, now it's, of course, much better, but, like, it still does that because, I mean, I use, like, one of the oldest Macs in the entire office. Like, everyone here has, like an M1 Mac. I'm on, like, a 2014.
Also, you have different. So you have. This is very interesting because this we always see in teams that different people use Cosmos differently.
Now
Um.
it's more even because, like, we've been working from home entirely for a long time. We've
Mhm,
only just started coming back into the office this week.
mhm,
Mm.
So now it's a bit more different. But because we had to go fully remote over the past month, I think there's a lot more adoption, from all teams. And also, I think over the past month, our usage, like, our requirement for having more in meetings and discussions, has
Increase
drastically increased.
for both
make,
teams.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
makes sense. And I'll go to the next one. Aditya and Jaya, like, now that your team has been using Cosmos for a while, uh, what what emotion do you think it helps your team feel, or like how does your team express about Cosmos, or like how do they talk about it?
Um, Typically, they're like, "Oh wow, Cosmos is really upping their game, huh?" Like they're more excited about Cosmos than Rojak. So that annoys me. I think they're very passionate about it, and we were looking at your Canny also, Canny.io,
Uh-huh.
and we were because we are contemplating using that also to get more feedback from users because typically we do it through like user calls and like other ways of getting feedback, but we don't have a Canny account yet. Um, yeah, so I mean we were just looking at that and then like, oh wow, they're actually building the pets feature, like
Mhm.
so I think everyone's quite passionate about what you all are building.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
really very passionate.
So when we first came in, like the emotion
mm-hmm.
that we felt was like it really feels like being in the office.
Mm-hmm.
Because we were really not in the office for a few months at a time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So they like it's more bonded. Like the team is more bonded because they can just talk to one another like freely, you know, um, and like at least see the person as an avatar.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
Yeah, and we can play games easily also on Cosmo. So it was helps to relax, like de-stress and relax.
I want Karan, I want you to introduce you to Tammy, who is your biggest supporter in the
Hi.
office.
Hi,
Tammy,
Tammy. Nice to meet
Hi,
you.
bro. I'm Cosmos.
Karan is founder of
Nice to meet
Oh,
you. Nice to
wow.
meet you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me too. Yes,
We
I managed to broke the Rojak people onto.
Yeah, so we have increased the adoption for our Rojak team, the SaaS team, who didn't really use it much before.
uh-huh.
She has
Uh-huh.
increased it a lot,
From
and
the Purdue parents.
So
and
Tammy, what's the secret? How do you increase adoption
Oh,
on the C++?
first for our team, right? We have like a UI UX group.
Uh-huh.
So before that, like we're having issues. Let's say like if we're trying to bounce ideas off, maybe we work and then we said like, okay, let's meet at the end of the day. But we realized like there are a lot of smaller touch points that we were missing because we weren't in the office.
Uh-huh.
So I was just like, okay, stay on focusing.
Uh-huh.
When I need you to see something, I'll let you know.
Uh-huh.
And we use that a lot. And I think we've also got to know each other a bit better through that. Yeah, those interactions.
Oh, that's amazing. And
yeah,
and
and
do you think
super
people are
excited
less?
about
The
Sorry,
she's
pets.
say that
super
again?
excited about the pets.
Yeah, we were playing with it just now.
What's your favorite? What's your favorite pet then?
We love the cat because it looks like our office cat.
Who does that? Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Oh, that's amazing. That was we wanted to build like a product hunt kitty. So
Mm-hmm.
that's our interpretation of a product hunt kitty. It
Ah,
also
like,
has some glasses.
close enough. That's very close. Yeah.
The
We love
AR glasses, yeah, it does have that. So that's pretty cool. And do you think the team in the start had some inhibitions to sit to sit there and have like their audio on or something just because it felt like Cosmos would invade in their space, and that's gone. Has it, like, do you first think that might have happened when they didn't want to stay on Cosmos?
Um, I don't think so. I think because we did Cosmos directly to fix an issue, which
Hmm.
we talked about like in our meeting. So we're just saying like it's hard to get people when you need them at the right
Hmm.
timings.
Hmm.
And Cosmos, we just tried it out the first day and we said, okay, you know what, just stay in focusing, we'll hit you up. And then at the end of the day, we all agreed that yeah, this made a huge difference to what we needed. So it
Hmm.
wasn't like invasion of privacy. It was much more like this is solving a direct need that we have.
Oh, so you had you the team felt this problem and discussed about it. That's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
I think it was brought up in our retrospective. So yeah, like our spring retrospective.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
and then like that's why I want to look for alternatives.
Makes sense. Okay. So that kind of bubbled up from the team. That's really interesting. And now that, like, say Singapore is opening up and you guys are back in the office, given you still have a remote team, how are US founders thinking about the company culture, or say, like, how does the team communicate? going forward, once say the offices open up as well? Or would the offices open up? Like, how are you thinking about this whole?
No, I think it's pretty open already for offices now.
Mhm.
We were just seeing a spike of cases in the past month, which still is spiking, but I think everyone's just insensitive, desensitized to
So
it.
endemic,
Yeah.
yeah.
So um, I think because we still have a remote team, I see a clear use case of using Cosmos
Mhm.
for bringing everyone into a similar environment, like into a digital space, where we all can be on par, regardless of whether we are in the office or not. Because all of our stand-ups, all of our calls still take place online, regardless of whether we are in the office or not. Previously, we over here, like in our meeting area, which still says Merry Christmas, sadly. Over here, we tried like putting a camera, um, a webcam, and then we could like stream, and we'd sit here and talk to the remote team also.
Uh-huh.
That also is not very feasible. So like we just stick to like getting on our own devices and then just talking to everyone remotely, like that,
Remotely.
right? So I think that's yeah, that's the way I think it will be going forward also.
Makes sense. So, so like, how would the workflow look like? So, say for example, if today one of your say Tammy came to the office, would she get to the office and then what will she have? She'll have to log into Cosmos and do the meetings and stand ups there.
Correct. And that's what everyone is doing, and that's what we did today also.
Oh wow! And
Yeah, and today we spent pretty much the whole day on Cosmos because we had sprint planning, which took
Mhm.
like very long, so like 3-4 hours actually.
It
um
does take that.
yeah. Yeah. So like from 10 a.m. we started, and then like the first half of our sprint planning only ended at about 12:30 or so,
Uh-huh.
with a couple of breaks in the middle, and then like we had another session in the afternoon. So, and all of that is done on Cosmos.
Makes sense. So I'll ask.
And meanwhile the engineers play like snowball fights.
That's amazing. So, one might, wonder, like, given you guys are using Cosmos, I think our viewers or say some person might ask this hard question that if, say, for example, Cosmos is helping the team feel bonded and be together, then why have the office? Uh, I think it's good to kind of like discuss it because we might learn something from there. So, like, how do you guys think about having the office? Like, why still have the office?
You want to go for it?
I think for now, because we are not really developing like the product itself, like meaning the board game itself.
Hmm.
Actually, the board games really require us to be in person in the office to play, test, and like look at the components, prototype the components and things like that. So, like the whole of last year when we were in the office,
Hmm.
in like June, July, May, those periods, it was really a lot of that, and that would really speed things up for us in terms of the product development side for Preo Pirates. But I think for the Rojak side, they don't really need to be in the office like at all, in like a physical space
Yeah.
because it's a digital product, it's a SaaS product. So that's not really necessary
Very
for them.
interesting point. It's the nature of your business in a way because you're
Well, I
building
mean,
like
right.
a physical product.
Precisely, and right now, because we are not in product development for any like physical items, right?
Mhm.
It's like our product focus is on the SaaS product. Yeah, I definitely think that you don't need you can have a fully remote team for a SaaS product. And I think that our team is actually, so as an employer you may feel like, if I have a remote team, I don't even know what they're doing most of the time, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But like we have that level of trust with our team, and I think our team is very solid. Like they get work done, regardless of like me or Jeshwan having to be around.
Hmm.
So I think I mean, it is the future of work, and I think people can definitely be more productive. In fact, I am more productive when I work remotely,
Mhm,
right? Because here you just you end up like just having conversations and stuff, which is actually very delightful in its own way. But if we're talking strictly about productivity and whether it can actually be achieved with a nice balance of having interaction with people and still like having a bond,
mhm,
I do feel like you can definitely achieve that with a remote team
mhm,
Of
mhm.
course.
using Cosmos. Yes.
Oh, thanks. Thanks for that. Yeah, I think you guys are in Singapore, and Singapore is not that difficult to commute to offices. So for you guys, that's not that big a problem. Uh, for us here in London, like when I was working in my previous job, it took me about 55 minutes, I remember, to get into the office. I actually moved places because I was
Right,
living too
right.
far. But anyways, super interesting and super like valuable learnings for us as well. That's pretty cool. Awesome. So I've finished all the questions we had planned.